Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sovereign Artsakh. I am Michael, the non-Armenian who is fixated on Armenia, in particular on the story of Soghomon Tehlirian. I have an objective. You'll just have to keep watching to figure that out. Some of you know, but if you're new to the channel, click around. You'll figure out what I'm about. Before I move on, I'm going to read something. It's a little longer than what I normally read, but first I want to just show you a couple of things. Before that, click subscribe. Click like now, click the like totally. And then share, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps the algorithm and it helps our numbers. This is a wall, probably the remnants of a monastery, over 1,000 years, I would imagine, probably. I mean, I'm not going to look at the details of this, but this is in Syunik province in Armenia, the southernmost portion of Armenia. This is a famous monastery there. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, this is like paradise on earth. I mean, the view from here, I haven't been there, but I've seen a wider shot. But look at this, ancient. I'd just love to go climb around in there and search and explore this place. This is another one. Same locale, different, ancient Armenian Christian holy site. All right, let me read it. Artsakh Parliament Speaker calls on international organizations to prevent destruction of Armenian monuments. All right, the Azerbaijanis and the Turks, they tend to destroy anything associated with Armenians, which for Armenians, yeah, that's awful. But for Christians, it's awful as well because Armenia is the first Christian nation. This is our heritage. I am non-Armenian. And anything that is Armenian that is destroyed is mine, is Christian that is destroyed, and it's actually a part of genocide. If you look up the definition of genocide, destroying ancient, the heritage, the culture, erasing the memory of a people group, that's all part and parcel of genocide, which is happening today in Azerbaijan. I'm going to read all of this. I'll read it fast. Ready? Speaker of Parliament of Artsakh, Artur Tovmasyan, has made an appeal to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Director General of UNESCO, Audrey Ausley, the personal representative of OSCE Chairman in office, and Artsakh Kasper, and to the World Council of the Churches over the danger threatening the Armenian culture and religious heritage in the territories of Artsakh, which have come under the Azerbaijani military occupation. Armen Press, that's the website here, presents the text of the appeal. Here we go. I haven't read it yet, so I address you to alert to the mounting threat to the Armenian culture and religious heritage in the territories of Artsakh subject to military occupation by Azerbaijan during the war unleashed by Azerbaijan against the Republic of Artsakh on September 27, 2020, and following the trilateral statement of November 10, 2020, on complete ceasefire and termination of all hostilities in the area of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, cases of deliberate and overt irremediable damage to utter ruining and misappropriation and alienation by Azerbaijan of the Armenian culture and religious heritage have been documented since the 1920s, which served as a precedent for renewed brutality and defacing demonstrated wantonly towards historical landmarks, pieces of art, and places of worship as constituting Armenian cultural and religious heritage, as well as monumental tributes to the Great Patriotic War and Artsakh National Liberation War in territories which fell under Azerbaijan's occupation during the 44-day war of 2020 and in the months following it. We also consider it a pertinent to point out that following the trilateral statement of November 10th, 2020, on complete ceasefire and termination of all hostilities in the area of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, Azerbaijan has embarked on, at the highest state level and even more ruthlessly, the calculated policy of legitimization of the false logic and fallacy of Caucasian Albanization of Armenian apostolic churches, misappropriation of the Armenian religious heritage, and their desecration and utter destruction on a case-by-case basis. Oh my gosh, that's the name of the policy, Caucasian Albanization. It makes sense with what some of our detractors in the comment section are saying. Oh, these are old Albanian churches. It's utter nonsense, propaganda. The statement made by Azerbaijani high authorities on replanning and coercive remolding of the Armenian apostolic churches with the far-reaching aim of their Albanization on erasing Armenian inscriptions are reprehensible. The most recent examples include presenting the 12th century Holy Mother Armenian Church in the village of Sakuri of Artsakh's Republic Hadrut region occupied by Azerbaijan as an Albanian church, or destroying the St. John the Baptist Church in Shushi. Is thereby true to its modus operandi of historical revisionism, fabrication of history, legitimization of its presence in the occupied territories of the Artsakh Republic and strengthening its ties to these lands. It is obvious that these carefully planned, institutionalized attacks and aggressive campaign by Azerbaijan on Armenian cultural and religious property, pursued with flagrant violation of treaty and customary international humanitarian law, are aimed at eradicating Armenian people's historical roots to the region, destroying historical records of their self-definition, dismantling the Armenian cultural capacity, obliterating the Armenian identity, as well as appropriating the Armenian cultural and religious heritage. Whereas opposed to the policy of extermination of the Armenian cultural and religious heritage adopted by the Azerbaijani authorities, the Republic of Artsakh has always remained committed to promoting ethnic and religious tolerance in its territory. The restoration of Gohar Aga Upper Mosque in Shushi in 2019 is a clear example and ample proof of it. In other words, Armenians do the opposite. They preserve the cultural heritage of other religions and ethnicities. There's a mosque that they actually, in Artsakh, restored in 2019, and Azerbaijanis do the opposite. They destroy. The relevant entities of the Republic of Artsakh and the Republic of Armenia have time and again raised serious concerns over this systematic and deliberate destruction and appropriation cases by Azerbaijan and the Armenian cultural and religious heritage based on open source data. The Office of the Human Rights Ombudsman of the Republic of Artsakh issued an ad hoc comprehensive report on cases of vandalism and the risk of destruction of Azerbaijan of the Armenian cultural and religious monuments in the territories of the Republic of Artsakh under Azerbaijan's occupation. No doubt the urgent warnings were heeded by relevant international organizations and international community at large. As far back as during the 44-day war in 2020, the deliberate targeting of Azerbaijan of the cultural and religious monuments in Artsakh was duly condemned. In this context, we acknowledge the concerns raised by the OSCE Minsk Group co-chair countries, the Russian Federation and France, most notably over the fate of Armenian cultural and religious heritage in Artsakh, their willingness to deliver practical support and statements and calls on engaging in international specialized organizations to protect the Armenian cultural and religious heritage of Artsakh and prevent further damage. We appreciate the international actors' determination to share responsibility of solving this human rights issue. We also appreciate UNESCO's proposal to carry out an independent mission of experts to draw an inventory of cultural property to safeguard effectively the region's cultural and religious heritage, which was welcomed by the Intergovernmental Committee of the 1954 Hague Convention for the Protection of Cultural Property in the Event of Armed Conflict, with both the Republic of Armenia and the Republic of Azerbaijan parties to it, and its second protocol. They're just calling out Azerbaijan here. We affirm our readiness to facilitate the UNESCO fact-finding mission to the region. We are obligated to note that Azerbaijan politicizes and issues the issue and prevents the UN agency from carrying out their fact-finding mission in the region, thus jeopardizing seriously the very essence of UNESCO and its universal dimension. This is well written. I mean, the translation's a little rough in spots, but this is well thought out and well written. The rich Armenian culture and religious heritage of Artsakh is an inseparable part of the global cultural and religious heritage, and Azerbaijan's explicit criminal intent to destroy the Armenian culture and religious monuments in Artsakh is a challenge to all of humanity. It is. That's not hyperbole. Condemnation by the international community of states of the intolerance of Azerbaijan towards our Armenian cultural and religious heritage in Artsakh and inviting their attention to it is certainly one of the means of preventing further damage to the endangered Armenian cultural and religious heritage in the territories under the military occupation of Azerbaijan. We still look forward to go beyond statements of concern and take practical steps to fight against the intentional destruction of Armenian culture and religious heritage pursued by Azerbaijan. Again, translation, something's lost there. We call on you to make sound use of international standards, the UNESCO 1954 Hague Conventions and its protocols, as well as UN SC Resolution 2347 to take urgent, effective, and consistent measure to work out effective mechanisms to hold Azerbaijan accountable and bring the country to honor duly its commitments with regard to respecting cultural property of other peoples and refraining from hostility directed against it. We reconfirm our commitment to promoting an understanding of the world's cultural heritage and its universal value and tolerance and mutual respect when it comes to the protection of people's cultural and religious heritage. We would like to remind that intentional attacks on the Armenian culture and religious heritage in the territories of the Republic of Artsakh, currently under military occupation of Azerbaijan, which could legitimately be considered as an intent to ethnically cleanse the Armenian people, have negative implications for fostering peace, stability, and security in the region, and the protection of the Armenian culture and religious heritage, including introducing observation and risk reduction mechanisms, should be addressed within the framework of holistic strategies to promote stability and security in the region. Period. I'm going to go back to that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Just be wallpaper. Or frame it and put it on a wall. Subscribe, share, like.